Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and we are 2 weeks away from Forsaken. If you guys are excited as I am, let me know down below in the comments, but it is so close. So many good things to look forward to, and some of them are coming next week. I'll cover those in just a little bit, but for a weekly reset, it is a pretty tame one, at least in the general stuff, but we do have something to talk about that we'll explore with you guys. Flashpoint this week is going to be Titan. Talking to Sloan, talking to Zavala. We've got Cayde stashes, so you guys can see those. I will do my Cayde stash video. They're all going to go from the rig and onward, but those should be pretty quick and easy to find for you guys. Nice thing about the Titan is because if you can get the public events kind of on a rotation, they actually kind of go pretty quick. It's easy to go between the two areas, and honestly, you can knock those out pretty quickly because both can be very quick events. Both, based on your guns and things like that, you can melt through some of those bosses and the wizards and things, especially if you got something like Whisper. They die quickly. But Cayde Stash video will come out later. I'll get a link up above in the description, so once that one's out, you'll see a link in the description, possibly one at the end, and probably a tag right up here in the top corner of the video. As for the Nightfall, and let's talk about some strike action. Got the heroic strikes this week. Your triple modifier is going to be Brawler, so your best bet is going to be both Wednesday and Saturday for your heavyweight modifiers. So if you need to run strikes for your last set of Solstice armor, anything like that, if you're still working on Zavala's level 50, I just capped that one off actually. Once you hit level 50, save those tokens because you're still going to need those for pretty much anything possible in Forsaken. So once you hit 50, don't keep turning them in, save them. Got Solar Singe all week, so if you do have Whisper, it will start melting some stuff like crazy, especially if you have that heavyweight on for Wednesday and Saturday. Things like Sleeper will do very well. Just anything in that nature are going to be fun to use. Today you've got Blackout, but again, of all modifiers, not too bad, but I'll be waiting for tomorrow before I really touch those strikes. As for Savathun's Song, this is the Nightfall on Titan, specifically, and we've got the strike where you fight the big Shrieker in the end. Solar Burn can be good if you've got Whisper of the Worm, Celestial Nighthawks, that can be good. On the other side, Arc can be beneficial as well. Depends on what you're fighting in that room. Personally, I picture a lot of Arc from the Knights. You got Void from, Acolytes, Void from the Ogres. I would probably consider Solar as a optimal Singe, but depending on what you're going for challenges and things like that, you might try Arc, but I would say Solar would probably be your optimal one. I may try and do a Prestige Nightfall for you guys. I did that yesterday, actually. I didn't have any commentary on it because I didn't think I was going to finish it, but I did just a Garden World on like my second time through. I finished it with that Arc Singe. I had my Warlock and stuff like that, so I'll save that one for when it comes back through. And let's take a look at what's next for Mars. If you guys are going to be doing Escalation Protocol, it is the boss that drops the shotgun this week, so if you guys do need to farm it for that one, it's a good week for the shotgun. If you don't have the shotgun, it's still one of the best shotguns in the game for now. Forsaken may change that. There may be some modifiers, different rolls that you can get that could make some things better. But for now, that Ikelos shotgun for a legendary is still definitely one of the best. Also one of the cooler looking as well. My brother got to pick it up this weekend. I was not as lucky. For your raid prestige mode this week, you're going to be dealing with two modifiers, and first one is Prism, which actually can work very well in your favor. Attacks matching the periodic rotating focused element do more damage, so if it's Arc, Void, Solar, Arc, Void, Solar, I forget which order, but it rotates like every minute, 60 seconds or so, so if you can time your supers and things like that paired with the Prism, it's actually going to work really, really well. So if you like Celestial and Hammers, when it goes Solar and that's when you pop the boss, like that's a really good time to just do insane damage in a short burst. Also, you've got a decent Arms Master this week. Scout, Pulse, and Linear Fusion Rifles. We know Linears are pretty reasonable. Those are ones that can actually, get some pretty good power shots in there. Tarantulas, the crit's been boosted, things like that. So for a power weapon, it's definitely probably better than grenade launchers just for the precision damage that you can do on some of those bosses. But I'd still probably guess supers are going to be doing most of the damage. And especially if you pair it up with those Prism modifiers, that one's going to give you a really nice boost to damage. So if you want to do it this week, I think it'll be a little more viable than last week. You've got some range, you've got pulses, linears can help with some of the major Minotaur ads and things like that. So depends on what you're doing. It's probably a pretty good one this week. But in general, I think that covers most of it. Oh, we've got one more thing, actually. So if you guys are still working on Valor, it is 2 times Valor. Coming up this next weekend. So it is off right now, but coming this next weekend, it will be 2 times Valor. So remember that for quick play, Rumble, and Doubles. And also, we've got Crucible Labs. So I'm going to kind of switch over to video on screen here so you guys can see. You're running around with Scorch Cannons. It is kind of bananas and crazy, but honestly, it's a lot of fun. It's free for all for now, and then you'll have to follow Twitter. I think it's going to switch over to teams a little later in the week. But honestly, free for all is kind of crazy. It's pure third person. I'm doing this without HUD, so if I'm missing, forgive me. But I want to give you guys kind of a clean aspect of what it looks like. But honestly, it's just a little fun. It's kind of like a, modifier on Mayhem. Everybody's got the Scorch Cannon. You blast them. It's actually kind of harder to hit them than you think. It's like a... so you got to hit them directly with a rocket launcher blast, kind of similar situation. So you're looking for aiming at their feet if they're going to land. The direct hits like mid-air are going to be tough to hit. So it's a lot of fun though, kind of goof around in there, have a little bit of fun, because using Scorch Cannons in Crucible, this is the type of thing that I wanted to see in Crucible Labs. Some of the other ones are like different modes and little variations and things like that. This is kind of breaking things, getting a little crazy with it. I mean, I want to see like swords and snipers when they kind of come back with the weapon slot changes and stuff. I want to see them get a little crazy with some modes or some weapons, and this is a step in the right direction for me, so definitely cool to see this one in here. But other than that, I think that does cover the Flashpoint. There's something on the milestone list I'm not covering yet. I'll get to it in just a little bit so we can explore it together. But let's go see what Eververse has, as long as I don't die on the way down.
Hi there.
Sorry, wrong one.
Goodbye.
Joys of editing, but I'll leave that in there. It's like 2 seconds. So this will be the last week of the Solstice of Heroes event, so if you guys are looking for glows on your armor, I would start looking at them now. Remember, it's a daily rotation. Each one of these boxes for 1,000 is worth one piece of that type. So just keep that in mind. If you're like needing, hey, I need one more solar for the head, you've probably only got 2 days worth of rotation. So remember, if you try and do this on Monday before reset and it's not the right color, you're kind of out. So do that stuff early. Nothing too crazy in the boxes. We do have a dance party bundle. If you're looking for the teamwork dance emote, you can straight up buy this thing, so you guys can actually work on your teamwork dance together. It's a cool dance. I really do actually like it. Do I think this whole thing with a boon and 3 other solstice engrams is worth 900 silver? I will let you make that call. Is it worth $9? But sometimes people just want a certain dance, so that's up to you. But other than that, still got your Whisper of the Worm ornaments. You've got your fishing emote. If you don't already own it, still kind of cool. You can pull up a fish, a boot, and then also Callus's face. Occasionally that will show up as well. There's the boot. You've got the fly dance. Definitely a better dance moves than I will ever have in my life, so enjoy it, in the game. Got the confident strut, just walking around. It's confident strut, kind of looks like something else, but I'll just let that one go. Couple sparrows. Some of these are looking at least a little more unique. I'm kind of liking the fact that we got some more models in here now, so I'm kind of glad to see that they're getting a little variety. We have the Archipelago Pitch. This one has both less time to summon and reloads your weapons, and also gunsmith telemetry on all weapons. Not a bad one. I select my caches anywhere, but that's just me. I'm biased. For your Suros ornament is the gray nitrite. Gives it that kind of iridescent carbon fiber look. Kind of a cool look to it, personally. And everything else is pretty standard. Now, there's one other thing on this list that I want to talk about, so let's get to it. Alright, Guardians. Now, some of you may have been hearing about this leak about a Cayde Spicy Ramen quest. Well, guess what? It's active today. So, Cayde Spicy Ramen is active. Go to the ramen shop in the tower, and let's see what happens. So, you have a milestone that literally says, visit the ramen shop to redeem your coupon, Cayde Spicy Ramen. So, if you come over here, it's going to say interact, and let's see what happens. I'm going to explore this live with you guys in the video. So I got an expired ramen coupon. Not entirely sure what that's going to do. Valid for 1 free bowl of ramen with a side of goiza. This expired decades ago. To preview it, nothing major there. And you can dismantle. Now, question is, what do you do next once you've got it? Okay, so I got the coupon. Got the expired ramen. I might go check with Cayde real quick and see if he's got anything to offer. Let's go look. Alright, Guardians, I have come over here to visit Cayde to see if there was anything related to this spicy ramen quest. And I've basically got nothing. So it's in my inventory. I mean, it says expired decades ago, so I don't know what to do with it. There's nothing to redeem. I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know what else it could possibly be related to. So if anything is figured out on this, I will definitely post a video, a little quick rundown if there's more to the quest, if this thing develops over days, if this is a preamble into Forsaken. I don't know, but if you do pick this up, it says redeemable, yet you can't do much with it. So I'm not sure what the purpose of this is going to be yet, but make sure you hold on to it. It has a milestone, you pick this thing up, and then it's gone. So there's going to be something. I know they're messing with us. It's probably related to Forsaken and what's going to happen in the campaign, but we're just going to have to wait and see what happens next. But that is basically it for now, guys. Let's have a moment of silence with Cayde here for what is to come in Forsaken. Sorry in advance, buddy. We are going to miss you. But I hope you guys did find the video enjoyable this week. Have some fun in Scorched. Should be fun. If you're working on Valor, if you're working on Glory, working on Solstice of Heroes, you got some grinds ahead of you guys, possibly. But enjoy them, have some fun. There's a lot to look forward to. One piece of advice is, at the end of this week, next week's reset, your weapons are going to lock. The 28th is when the weapon slot changes. So, heads up, remember, like for example, the Manananan, still sounds ridiculous. Either way you say it, to my knowledge, is going to be a Void Scout Rifle. Now, hopefully most of Year 1 weapons are outdone by Year 2 because random rolls are potentially going to have more places for perks, and the Masterwork gets you another perk to personalize it. But if you are working with some weapons that you want to keep with you, or you want to have some options, what you want to do, I'll put the link below in the description. There's a list of every gun, and if you have some favorites, especially anything of an elemental damage type, you're going to want to lock it in to something you want it to stay as, because as of the 28th, next week's reset, it will lock. So, for example, the Manananan Scout Rifle is going to pull from your collection, like if you go get a Year 1 version, and it's going to turn into Void every time. So if I want to have the option of all three, I'm going to keep this one as Arc, I'm going to switch this one to Solar, so then when I pull one from my collection as Void, I have all three. So you may not have 3 of everything. If you have 2, you can do something like this. Remember, you can pull one from the collection. But if you have a preference about any energy type, things like Curtain Calls, you know, is going to be one of those things to keep in mind. Bungie did say some things are going to turn into kinetic, like Hawthorne Scout Rifle or Shotgun, the Silicon Naruma. I think both of those are just straight up going to be kinetic, so there is going to be no damage type on those. The Ikelos weapons are going to be locked as Solar no matter what you do, so don't spend any, you know, modifications trying to make those a certain type. They're just going to be Solar, period. So there's a full list out there. Whatever you've got, you know, Uriel's Gift has its piece. I think it might be Arc. So lock these into certain things you want to keep them as. If you're trying to get varieties of options of all damage types for weapons you like, you have this week to do it. So remember that. If you have any questions of what I mean, leave comments in you know, below, and I will try and answer them for you guys, or maybe do another video if there's too many comments or questions about it. Kinetics mostly are probably going to stay kinetic, but we're looking forward to Year 2 weapons to hopefully replace everything in Year 1, because that would be kind of cool. But as I said, good luck on your grind. I hope this is helpful for you guys. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like below. Always helps me out. If you guys have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the alert bell next to it. Definitely keeps me in your feed on YouTube. Other than that, thank you guys. You can follow me on twitch.tv/Ebontis. Follow me on Twitter. I'll let you guys know when I go live, probably for Forsaken. If I'm soloing Nightfalls, if I get new videos up, Twitter's a good place to follow me. And here on YouTube as well, between just the page, the community comments, and stuff like that. So, thank you guys for everything. Sorry this one was a little long, and if I figure out anything more about the spicy ramen, I will let you know. But have yourselves a good afternoon, enjoy, and I'll see you soon.